The key thing I want to just leave you with is this idea that the world is accelerating, and there's a good side to that when we see all the technology, but there's also a really bad part when we think about sustainability and the environment. A little example I like to use when I think about sustainability and the environment is the idea of buying a mattress. So if you're going to go buy a new mattress, you got to go to the mattress store. You're going to meet a guy that makes you uncomfortable, and he's going to ask you all sorts of weird questions like why, how do you sleep? Are you comfy? Do you want to lie down here? It's a weird experience. And then in the end, they'll say, oh, we can get you this $5,000 mattress 80% off just today, and that's below cost, but it's okay because we make it up on volume. None of it makes sense. It's an awkward experience, but it gets you a mattress. So eventually some people came up with a better business model. Maybe you could just order a mattress delivered to your home and skip the middle step. Some of you might know a company that I'm talking about. I usually poll an audience, and if I'm in North America, people say Casper. They say different brands in Europe, but I want to talk about Casper. Casper is interesting because people think it invented this business model. They think it was the first. But it wasn't. It was Lisa. Just kidding. It was TUFT and Needle. Just kidding. It was Saatva. But nobody in the world remembers or even really knows of Saatva because when the new entrants started being copied, Lisa came out with $32 million of funding to spend on ads on a direct-to-home shipping company for your mattress. And then Casper came out with $339 million in funding, US dollars, just to spend on ads, almost $500 million. So people don't even remember. And now, here's the takeaway. There are 175 mattress companies, and you can't tell them apart. Companies that just ship you a mattress in a box, probably all coming from the same factory. Wow. And that's 2019. So Casper decided they needed to figure out a way to reinvent a little bit better. They thought, oh, the only weird part is you don't get to talk to a salesperson. So now they're opening up 250 stores where you can talk to a salesperson, bringing us right back where we started. That seems really wasteful to me, but it's an example of how in today's economy we move so quickly and we chase things that we can create enormous waste. And if that example doesn't feel like it enough, you probably know about the shareable bikes that are available in pretty much every city in the world. But what you might not know is that when the business models started working out, more and more companies started getting venture capital and private equity funding. More and more and more and more. Until pretty soon there started becoming stockpiles in China of bikes that would never be ridden. And those stockpiles got so big that if you look at them, they're actually not thousands of bikes, they're tens of millions of bikes that look like they're lavender fields from space, but they're not. Tens of millions of bikes that will never, ever be ridden. Similarly, this kind of chase of the dream also causes things like the ocean plastic problem and countless other issues that we're familiar with. So, as innovators, as creators, as people trying to create a better future, the question I would pose for you would be very simply to think about what you want your mark to be and what you'll do to make the world a better place. In the plastic ocean example, American Express made a points program that actually funds and helps ocean cleanup. There are a number of different companies, most famously Adidas with Parlay, that are taking ocean plastic and ocean fishing nets and then turning them into clothing products. There are people directly trying to tackle the issue like Boy and Slat, who's building a giant ocean cleanup to tackle that particular problem. There are science fairs and teens and a next generation empowered to try and solve some of the problems for us. There are governments around the world making big commitments. Costa Rica being plastic and carbon free by 2021. San Francisco and others have banned the sale of plastic bottles entirely. There are large grocery stores, national and multinationals, that are piloting circular shopping where you would bring back the 1950s era of the milkman and actually use the same containers, either with them delivered at your door or by going to stores where you actually refill everything that you need. People are taking a look at adding more vegetarian options into their diets or even switching completely with things like the Beyond Burger, which uses 93% less land. And at Trend Hunter, my company, we've created 10,000 trend reports. I think people print them out. So we're trying to counteract that by planting trees, and we're up to about 1 million trees now in Africa, planted as forest gardens, trying to empower families. But I say all these little things more to simply just give you some notes of encouragement that you hear a lot about the world being in a bad place, but we can do something about it and it all adds up. So what are you going to do and how you think about sustainable energy? Because most people don't break from the path, but you are a disruptive thinker and you will create the future.